니바데다 아 견난 님이 니바다 가르잖아 몸이시비 님이 선반이 있어다 즉 너랑전 오늘 뭐 마셔봐 짬래 마도 봐 람림드는 송도 즉 감숨기 크로에 나래 얘네가 심전되게 돼 랑게 마치바 찍혀요 말이 제반에 니베 마 장을 대바 찍요래 아니 똥숨기 손전보데 아니 배
마시기 싫어 몸을셔 쇼면 씹어도 몸이 씹어래
몸이 씹어
오늘 몸 마셔 몸 쇼면 씹어래 싫어 안들
어다 갖다 그러왜 직 된 세나미도 다 그러왜 나라 직 되게들라 가츠지 롱전에 아니 몸이야 말했었다 다 들라고 다 몸이 씹어서 몸이야 말했어 시링레 제제 가츠 지에 락바이 오마통데 따도 소소이 교회 지수 라we korwawe dewe chemang ninji tungchalo sewada chik tingone re ngazo seba keonde gala tatile cho gyun ma sheba chine ani de yongor wa ata oda de sungore di chombazamin stati di susu ngone nyongdog samdana chik nyongado ngānsu sīpakia yūjīla jī pā jī chalā jī ndabā sūpa yīna āni nyōni nyōyā mā pūt bāgu kī kātā rō mā chay jī āni pā chō lāpa chāngsu chay nī tālō gyabā yōng tuwa tēku ndabā dī pā ngōmiyā mē bā jī tā ngōni ndukā samlo yābo jī tāna oda dīgī dī ngōni chā dī rī dīni tsōmba tsamo dīngi lī 지tar 내진 신문 예바나 대외 던도 멜레 뒤선 짱 유아르민지 땡인 렘바니 더빠 남라 차바 캠바르즈 어다데 더바 직 가서거라 파게 몸이야매 용해야돼 더바 지점지 슈 전부에 시바 지점 펠즈 데라 이네 몸밤에 봐지다 루시니 용야도 갖고 또 디순 거래 벌진 두알이경 너빠때다 토바다 인지진도 템바다 마운도 집에 미움나 대외 내친 가지 왔다 원이 너빠때다 토바다 인지진도 템바다 마운도 집에 미움나 대레 내친 지지요 제 뉘연라 지점 제경 몸밤에 봐 숭라 케버도 냥알렌 데발레 숭발 tar samnani 신도 교월 교대 양당양도 녀와당 제준 콜마 강통와 야선한기 출라양 디세점 여마인 김자 파도 규반이 미장완의 강수바 리결부 lumbu이 델레 신도 라브링기로 어다티 ngarazo tati ngone pale lamrin sungai lamatsu sungdo ngaso 야 냐웨네 깨네 냐세 냐웨 추주 코마데 테 야줄 통하데 테 야줄 라바요레 다 가주지 소나다디 원밤에 와서 송고하래 아니 기바기 다 오늘 둔데나네 기바 그 루이데 ngazo 라오데 리갸보리랍레 토야르제 근데 송교도 와다 테나 진치네 ngaranzo 가주지 ndebe yenden지 다 영화에 말 몸에 균이요 말 sem카에 균이요 말 뒤인들가라다지 근데긴 ndebe yenden들라 소소 고이츠지 당초지지 추가셔버제데 시부지께 전부 차려요 뒤인들가라 남배 세나미도 아주 그 강정이 예전 두마디 초치 등기 주부인 저승도 축보스기 초시나 주보 초마시나 주 야방 동방이나 셈 다동 방공 찬데리요래 뱅나 고모 밀레이나 셈나 다동 초 마시베 홍게 우부 차디요 어다 디기디 시우지게 첨보를 가나서 초시지 아니 의시지 돈다 외마데 초시지니 그바다 가래요래 코로에 나라 코로에 뇌라 세파기나 펠레마다 요마래 맞추지 세파기지니 디 세파 펠렌 드바 초 마시베 잘고 어다디 드바들라 곰이야 곰밤에 바데 어다도 수치는 삼당 구구에 쌀에 어다디 즉 문에 견 첨버지 미제반에 간서바 리가볼롱아이 셀레신도 라파르키루스 자시 랍도 탈바이 코로에 니수 강도와 미키 치미티바이 노도 야초 로마인스 어다디 문에 나란서 무니 다 디기에니 치마선이지 대야소나 진짜디요리 세바가 겨왕가마니 다때도 강가 싸요나 텐디 시작이 있어라 어다 되게 무슨 거래 판수다도 저바이 고 제바 강임바 분에 따라 토와니 세윈 지든 레경탈 심부르규진 랍랍이 설류 제바 강임바 오메갸츠 체낭도 디가나 신둥갱 예수 발달 시비 분소 지시 톱경 루아당 따tung 만베나 대타른 주에 수삼라 경월 자디 교회 신인 성부의 자네 가담베 교회 신인이다 가담베 교회 신인 성부의 자네 단데 코로안디 덤품 망보시 저거반디 닐라 레베 숭알타부 로나 히기파르투 사모 서 와다 도스체네 즉 몬바메베 삼로데 야네야도 타 도스체네 삼타이나 가레 몬바메베 삼로데 타네 간지 수수 초시바지 오구고아레 간지 즉 땅문이 제존지나 대도안 가서 로갈 동바 인디갈라 쇼핑 로당 가면 내면 녀에 자기도 와 돈데 초 마시버거는 녀 애니 돈데 제코 니바데 조연도 루두도 와 자일란 펜더멘데 초 마시니 충세질랭 견텐데도 와 같이 멀리 tel레인데 아니다 곰 밀레나 다보데 초 마시지 애니페 디치리온데 갈라 주고 빼 직디 숨마투게 갈래도 와 그때 견망 보여다 그직 코 ndebe yendende 그 코연간제를 델라에니 세파 지점집에나 디 가르소래다 둥알기 자와지 양주라요 오다 되게 삼단에 초시에데 오니 으츠제데 개침부 자리요 오다 됐습니다.
The next the drawbacks of cyclic existence. The disadvantages of dissatisfaction. That's on page 36. The friendly letter says, each individual has drunk more milk than the four great oceans. Yet in the ordinary person's continuing cyclic existence, there is still more to be drunk. The point can be taken from this. The same text says, understand attachment to objects of desire as being like a leper seeking for comfort. When tormented by maggots, he sits by the fire but finds no relief. The condensed perfection of wisdom sutra says, obtaining everything you desire and consuming much on a daily basis, yet still to be dissatisfied is the greatest disease. So basically here, it talks about the nature of one of the samsaric state is, if you can control your kind of desire or craving, no matter how much you kind of engage, if you don't control, there is no ending. So here we see kind of using all different kind of metaphors, and we will see more here. So let's continue with the reading. So there is no satisfaction in sensual pleasure, and if you think, especially about what is taught in the Sutra of avoiding sorrow, you will feel great concern. It says, the water in the ocean bears no comparison with the molten copper you have drank again and again in hell. The amount of filth you have eaten when you were born as a pig or a dog would be much greater than Meru, the king of mountains. As a vessel of all the tears you have shed when parted from friends and relatives in cyclic existence, the ocean would not be big enough. If all the heads cut off in the course of mutual conflicts were to be piled up, the heap would reach beyond the realm of Brahma. Born many times as a famished worm, the amount of earth and dung you have eaten would fill the great ocean of milk right up to the brim. So this all kind of example shows, how in the past many kind of countless lifetime, we kind of take rebirth and keep in the cycle of kind of enjoying what mentioned here, kind of the sensual pleasure, and there is no unending. And so as explained, however much worldly wealth you acquire, it is nothing but seduction. You should feel apprehensive, thinking of how the same could happen to you if you do not make further effort. In the words of the spiritual friend Sangpuba, from the first you must face so many ups and downs here in cyclic existence, but nothing worthwhile. Think about this until you are convinced. And the point here is the importance of a sense of satisfaction or contentment. If you let your desire or craving uncontrolled, there is no end, as we have seen in the past, as we see mentioned in the text. And in fact, there is a saying by great masters in the Buddhist tradition that those who have a self contentment is the wealthiest. They have all wealth. Otherwise, it could happen that lack of self contentment or satisfaction, even you have millions, in your dollar, but your mind, you are still poor, because you always feel that you need more than what you have, and so there's no ending to it unless you kind of realize the true nature of it and to sort of control yourself. So craving and desire or attachment, without controlling intentionally, if you let it go, there's no ending. There's always kind of desire to want more and more. And so again, the point here is kind of showing a sense of contentment, a sense of satisfaction, and a small thing as like going to grocery shopping when you are really kind of hungry, and then you buy a lot of things that even you can't eat, and then wasting. And maybe greater level when you acquire too much wealth or property or whatever, then it leads to more problem if you don't know how to deal with. You need to protect it, you need to save it, and so the object of desire, of course we need to have a good life, or but if we try to acquire more than what is needed, the point here is that those could lead to the source of problem rather than the source of happiness or the satisfaction here.
대양 코로나 견지래 수송래 semjenreri lulane ndorwe rupa puna lumbele kyangmang tanga ti sungda da tingone dewayare lamrem lama tu sunon de gala karsa ngazu ji chi roari tu ta semjen trangle deba digiti susu roari tu na lui de langmangin se ten zawagin mare lui lama ma se lenja mangbulu zambulingi tandadi sadu de ribuche baina ani shundru de ribuche na susu kewa lang tanga de 망아데 딘주이 슌르지 리부데 제드구르데 숭도아 오다 티티존데 배 가서 놀랜다 짬매바 중요하래 뒤인디가라 딱 오네 가서 치와라 대잠치 다 직파기 냠냠부터네 치와라 짜나네 대잠치 레기미도아 아니 개발라 가나 대잠치 엄마라 오다 뒤인디가라 직 리인 돌랭기 니미도 마타오이 견도 마통이 왕게 따대 안신제 tin 딘디 춘이 제 삼삼진이 두시네 내거라 어다디 지기어 말에 린 돌렌라 견도 따와이나 아니 즉 치위 갑자기 치위 동안 계획 갑자기 계획 동안 어다 되게 동안 돼서 양내한도 삼다이나 아니 코로안딜라 닝보메베지 통과와 어다 코로안딜라 닝보메베지 통나 코로아텔라 다tab시키로 와 어다 두스치니 가제 코로에 견 주디 제니 견데 탐제 주나 뒤니 다 두스치니 순거 다디 순바들이 심제를 류라네 너로웨 류방고 뽕나 룸벨레 캬망 레레 다니기 류베 풍보니 룸보 냠바치리 데버교데 제소 서와다 데 순도 와다 텐데기 다가 류파세야 파파세야 미도 다간가 직 사무당고가 당가서 두시네 어다 간지 대기 권도 주주래 가서 견디기 사무다니 코로알레 닝보 말 코로알레니 빼 털탑지야기 두시르마도 디 닝보 따디 문이 나베중네 셴나 또 문이 사무다나 당rin 쳐지 야래 가르는 가 쪼기라 셈 라진니리 징디 셈 뎀베 동화데 셈디 다 즉 가서 상기기 리드 차디요래 디 단단 쿠리견 되기지 사무다나 딜을 도와줘야지 레도와 딜을 도와줘야려나 딜을 배주줘야지 레도와 아니 도스니 아니 상기기 산도야 람가지 시거마도 또 셈데라 디마데 라진리 주디요 셈데 뎀베 동화 맨데긴지나 तति खुर क्योंचे बादे कोबा मेगन जो छागोरे तति तंददी सब्जेक्ट ति छेबादे कोबा मेगे छागोरे तति मारवातो कोबा योरे आजो स्टिमालो पुरवारे सेम राजिंग ओसवारे 상기 산 매주잖아 타야 요래 이 니가라 semkin 이 크로이션 되게 돼 삼노다네 아니 코로알 타르탑지야 그라 탑람이 계기 돈달라 순거래 와다 대 인디가라 두스체니 우공바지 고거래스 아니 시부시부 중에 시기가 말다
the next one, the disadvantages of having to discard your body over and over again. The bodies assumed by each sentient being have to be discarded. If their bones did not rot, they would be greater than Mount Meru. The friendly letter says the heap of each sentient being's bones would equal or even be greater than Mount Meru. So here, this is one of the another disadvantages. So what we see here is in the text, it's trying to kind of present, the fallacies or the disadvantages of being reborn again and again in cyclic existence. And not only this, but here, we can use the other like regular understanding, such as, to understand the the essenceless of cyclic existence, such as right from the beginning of our birth, the basic suffering of humans, such as birth and then aging, illness, death and dying. These will be kind of helpful to understand. Sort of. Really not having control for ourselves, but really kind of going through the same cycle again and again, unless we put some kind of sort of leverage or control. And it is also helpful to understand, on the other hand, the understanding of what we call Buddha nature that exists in, every consciousness or mind. The Buddha nature that innately it is pure and all, afflictions are temporary. So if you make some effort, then we can attain enlightenment and able to really kind of free totally from this cyclic existence, which consists of, say, in this text we find the 6 different kind of 6 points of disadvantages. Yes. So she said we'll stop here for today, and if you have any questions you can ask. Somebody has a question, can I hear?
Yeah, I have a couple of questions about karma. One is, if karma is the mental imprints that we carry in the stream of consciousness from lifetime to lifetime, how does the external circumstances of karma arise then? In other words, if I've created the karma for something good to happen in the next life, and that good thing happens external to myself, is that the result of mental imprints only, or is there something else that causes that to arise? And if so, what is that dependent on for those external circumstances to arise?
Le gyunde de sim giden al phagja shan en kiwaji ne chin gyun tu na ni le gyunde min di zambal mi me kabla da de kol chilo gi chajin de zom go ro da chilo chajin zom boye de ni nang sim gi shibe gyu da dewa ro khande chego re chilo gi le de sim korang gi kyang ton ne en chilo gi kala go chajin zom me shoro chilo ne ge di khande su kala go ta chi khande su ka du ro jag la go ta te she ro khande ja go la go le gyumde de ge sim gi phagja de ne sim kuran de ne jebo gi keju ro shin en chilo ne ge da keju de ne sang go ro lo chajin sang go ro le member chela chi gi tungge ro de da ga re chela tu gu ne de en de en de da di sim gi jang jang cha shi ro shin di khande ste che go ro lo da ga da le member da nang sim gi ti che en chilo ne ge chajin ro sang go ro da chi kien de kala war da le gyunde di maro la go sare cha shi ro chi chi kien zom go go ro da di le gyunde cha shi ro shi re maro la go sare kala ding ye le gyunde de sim gi bhaja de ne che bo to go go re
le gyunde zan na chi ran chi da ma re se wa ko mang bo shin zom go go de ke da ma yo ran so sapon ji de na ni ku min bala na ka chi na ma ro ko yu de la mada pe mang bo shin go do ti na nam de i cha te zan ta yin de gala yu de la mene min jun do to be good ta nyu go de sapin nin ta mene min jun do to be atare kila helwe ku ani no hel do ya ta pe kana chu yu de ni yong go pun sun so be de de gala jin chi la pe de ni yong do jin chi la ni sherno mi ga ni chu ya na pun so be yu cha de chu de jin de la sha de chen na num dang de ro num chen na shan dang de ro pun so be yu ro ma ga pe yang de helwe yu da yu da lan te mi nin te ne dam na ma bu ta ya do wa ti ya ta ta jin di ri de yang mo la chu tu ya de yo ma de kan ji nang di sim gi pa cha men ba la chi gen gi te de ten ten to pa chu yo es ta ta di ri de la ya pe ka bu kan se la ko le ni ji che ji ta wa pe mi si shin du bo ni rin de sa gi nya ji gi ju lo ma da ma zo mo to gi ri de to tu ya ka bu re
when we talk about cause and effect in general, what we mentioned before is, Keshav said, how it kind of goes on to the next moment continuously as a mental imprints or latencies. But when we talk about, cause and effect, we are talking actually, we just talk one thing, and cause and effect in general, under that, it includes kind of lots of things. that we, of course, many are beyond our understanding, and in the just for the seed to turn into a sprout, in that kind of simple kind of situation, simply having a seed is not enough. When it grows, it needs all kind of factors and conditions, dirt, moisture, everything. And in the text like a valid cognition commentary, it talks about a different relationship between that cause and effect. The relationship such as inevitable relationship, that is the relationship between seed and the sprout, and the seed turning itself into a sprout. So the relationship between that seed and the sprout is that the seed becomes the immediate cause, or the real cause, and seed itself turned into a sprout. So that is the within the cause. When we say cause, again we are talking about a lot of things, and that is the immediate cause. And there are other kind of subordinate the causes that helps seed change into a sprout. So in the cause itself, the cause of kind of increasing the absolute cause. So when we just look at the cause, there are many different levels of causes. How the cause itself kind of produces the result, and of course we need to understand the different factors and conditions. So Geshe is saying that detail and everything, it's really difficult to say precisely, because one of the big conclusion is that the subtlest of subtlest of the cause and effect is something that is known only to the mind of enlightened beings. But however, when we say cause and effect, we are talking something really kind of broad, extensive, a lot of things, not just something kind of simple.
주를 여기 밑에서 초다 편준인다 맨날 약간 담만는 용데 교차디요. 디 철수 따뜻한 규도 진이 남진 용해야 돼. 디미 강가로네 유지 사요. 마사는 고녀예요 말. 유도 끝이 사바르잖아. 따뜻 때 렌데지 타지 잡아치게 돼. 때 딘디지 사르 두 사르지. 당원이 가서 그래. kimbi ishi nyaji sanji chomdende nyaji ta jul chadi ore stati kemru chidi gala pagine ndiudo khasa tu zeba mebe ishi zebe ta digita mado jin share 남김대다 두세 번 비시세 남김 뒤는 좀 된데나 이 전불린기 따지 메도다 시나다 깡가 메다게 뒤에네 배 로통라만 거 자세는 루루다 뒤 이것도 이게 제 충충지 가려져서 네가만 되는 데지기 메도 내리지기 탈라져서 캔 두그스도 어다 투세반이 이시세야 어다 덴디 유엔댕이 제가 다시 거 맞아 덴디 맨다긴 제가 딱 이미 다시 타와 인데세야 백하고 뭐또 기립이 또 들어요 말 무슨 데 깔 때리자
His Holiness in his teaching one time mentioned, in Dharamsala when he was giving teaching teaching about cause and effect, that the subtleties are beyond our understanding. So in giving teachings, Dharamsala, he used an example of the weather. Up in Dharamsala, the weather, it's really kind of unstable, and so people, gathering from all different, many different parts of the world, different people, they gather under the same kind of tent, and when there's a rain or fall. Through Buddhist kind of this, cause and effect, we has to come up with this statement that each and every individual has some karmic plant that makes a karmic action that makes them to experience this particular, experience of, that particular time, particular place, experiencing a rainfall. And but if you ask, when then these different individuals has planted the seed and where, at what particular time or circumstances, then it becomes, the cause and effect extremely subtle. And in one of the, when we talk about, the object of refuge, and the qualities of enlightened being, the qualities of the mind or consciousness of the, the omniscient mind, there is a example that is mentioned that that Buddha's mind being omniscient, knowing everything. It used an example of if you burn up the entire universe, trees and flowers and everything, and turn into ashes, and then you kind of mix that ashes in the ocean for many thousand years, and then you pick up just one dirt and show to enlightened being, then that enlightened being has the ability to tell exactly, what plant or what particular time is. We find that kind of, the level of, the qualities of enlightened being. So of course, when talking about cause and effect at the level of ordinary people, there are a lot of things, of course, not only subtle, but something that we cannot apply the regular or conventional reasoning or logic. Juge debu member chede chidang le jonde ge namsha rawje shawara yandi namju khala ore rangshin gi chung de jre sa de khar shawar lo juge debu member che choro juge debu khar ke ba chede chidang le jonde ge namsha shawara yandi namju thopja thopja khala ore chung de
le junde sidigala nam ge le junde da chi guni ni yon chogro chi junde de la ko tumo mai bi yude bugudu mado tumo mai bi yu mena jen yujenda tsana higmido tumo mai bi rang den jini bi ni ba gugudo ti pere ka chi ngarang jo thoya sabon chawa ta la chawe ranjin yade ko nibu chawe ranjin ye yawa chi gunde nangi gunde sidigala ngarang jo 자주 nemba nyumo wangi kinjina dibutungan jingire tsada arapaji shena dibutungan kigirisiya ani mile pembaji awochigiyena ani dewan jugusese nangi gute tu sene dire mala janda karsa koi karsa
juge debu jimbo che choro jen de jidang topya topya chung de den de dal inji mi de la khalle gyunde ge namsha ro ton chi cha ko ore la gosar
nangi gyula ta le gyunde namsha de ta de ga ram morning ku tum topya ko ya ke ya mares jeza sanskrit na karma se di action se gora so se jaju la rali jaju di so se machena ko ti ke khara yo marwa
Again, it's kind of the big topic, cause and effect. One way of understanding here is that we can have a true understanding the internal and external cause and effect. External, within the external cause and effect, for example, seed producing sprout. Again, there are many kind of particularities. For example, they has to have a seed, but not only that, the seed should have the ability to produce, what it should be producing. And so that seed that has the ability or potential to produce the result is considered as, at that particular kind of circumstances, a valid seed, the right seed. So for example, in order to have pepper as a result, you has to have a seed that produce or that has a potential to produce a pepper, something hot or burning. And so what we call the unique seed, or the seed which has the ability to produce or has the potential to produce its result. So this what it sort of says that all seed doesn't necessarily has to produce result. It has to have potential or ability. But when we talk about the internal cause and effect, like just kind of negative thought producing a negative action, and maybe positive thought producing. So the inside, we could say it's not it's not really or not sort of cannot be something random. In Sanskrit word we use word in English we say karma, but more appropriate would be karam, which actually means action. So it must be preceded by action, and without action there won't be any result. So that could apply more to kind of internal cause and effect, or rather than more kind of external. Any other questions? No? You miss?
Yeah. Could you or Geshe-la clarify about the Gomong monks who are coming?
Yeah, we're going to make that announcement after the teaching. Yeah, we'll do after the teaching. Otherwise, it will become a part of teaching. It will get in the recordings. Somebody into. Jere zingwa dinjin gyazo yin shawe sidyen barto dengyu chi jembe bawe jidara kemba andan kundu sambo deya deji deda gungi jesun lalo jen gyawa deda tamje rabdo ngo tusum shaben gyawa tamje gi ngowa kanla chodo nga da shen gewe zawa dikun gya sambo chunje rabdo ngo waraiki. The Snow White Mountains, the source of all happiness and benefits, flows in your person, generously changing Gyaso, remained until samsara ends. Just as the Bodhisattva usually attain omniscience, and Samandabhata too, so now I too dedicate these mass to train and follow in their footsteps. As all the victorious Buddhas of past, present, and future, praise dedication to the Supreme, so now I too dedicate this source of my merit for all beings to correct good actions.
Thank you.